welcome to the Check-In Report. I am your humble host, True and Living, and this is the Check-In Report. Today's topic, we are here to talk about an OG who couldn't shut his mouth, an OG who just kept self-snitching and self-snitching and self-snitching. He went on couch to couch to couch, to internet show, to internet show, to internet show on your YouTubes, and he ratted on himself up until the point where the man is currently sitting in a jail cell. We are talking about nobody other than Mr. Keefe D, former Southside Crip, and the man that was allegedly in the car that shot the legendary rapper Tupac Shakur. We are here to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen, and we are here to get through this. And we're here to watch some of this man's interviews, some of this man's chatterboxing. And we also have to talk about P. Diddy. P. Diddy come in front of the congregation. Hold on, where's my bell at? Where's my bell? P. Diddy, we need you in front of the congregation. We need to talk about you and your alleged capers, your alleged connection to Mr. Keefe D, Southside Crip, and the man that was in the car that shot at Mr. Tupac Shakur and Suge Knight. And Tupac ultimately lost his life, I believe, after 6 days. This happened in 1996, ladies and gentlemen. 27 years later. A lot of the details are now coming out, and we're here to unpack, and we're here to talk about an OG. See, there is an epidemic happening, ladies and gentlemen. And salute to everybody who's coming in. Salute to everybody that's watching this in the live stream, anybody who's watching this in the rebroadcast. We have an epidemic, ladies and gentlemen. There is an epidemic. Old heads, OGs, original gangsters, dudes that put their Mac down back in the day. They can't stop talking. I mean, we seen it with AR Ab. We seen it with who else? Tax Stone. We were now seeing it with Keefe D. We see all of these OGs getting wrapped up. Little Boosie is another one. All of these OGs self-snitching on themselves. You know, they spent their whole lives ducking the law. They spent their whole lives keeping the code of the streets, keeping a tight lip on their crimes and the things that they had knowledge of. But now you see OGs ratting on themselves, tattletelling, getting in front of a camera, thinking that it's not going to come back and bite them in the behind. But we see that's not true. We see that with AR Rap. We see that with Keefe D. Little Boosie, he was in an interview talking about he'll have somebody in a car take the gun charge for him if he gets pulled over. These people keep ratting on themselves, and they find themselves in these bad predicaments. They call themselves so-called gangsters, street G's. I'm keeping the code in the street. We had Keefe D. Hopefully I can find that video. I'm gonna see if I can find that video of when he was being interviewed by the news station. Now, keep in mind, this man has multiple interviews of him ratting on himself. He gets on the news interview and says, oh, I'm going to keep the code of the streets. But you got a book, you got 100 interviews. This man self-snitched on himself, and he is the reason. He is the sole reason why he's sitting in jail. It's not Vlad's fault. It's not Art of Dialogue's fault. It's not, whoever chose to interview him, Gangster Chronicles, whoever chose to sit down with this man, whoever chose to put a microphone in front of this man. It's not their fault that this man is in jail. He fell victim to the clout. He fell victim. He had to tell his story. He had to give his 2 cents on whatever P. Diddy is doing, because, Diddy has, an importance to his life and his life story. And he did a lot of self-snitching on himself in multiple interviews, and we're going to get to that. We're going to talk about that, and we have to talk about that. It's of critical importance that we talk about this, ladies and gentlemen. So we are here to talk about Mr. Keefe D, former Southside Crip. Now here you have the mug shot of this man, Keefe D. Now keep in mind, let me do a quick Google search here on my phone. I have to find this out, ladies and gentlemen. How old is Keefe D, ladies and gentlemen? What's the age of Keefe D? The man is 60 years old, ladies and gentlemen. Keefe D is 60 years old, and he is now about to face a trial for the deletion of life of Tupac Shakur. This man doesn't want to be in jail at 60 years old. I mean, let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. He does not want to do a second in jail for this crime. This man has grandbabies, grandchildren. Do you think at 60 years old he wants to do a 25-year bid for the murder or the deletion of life of Mr. Tupac Shakur, the legendary rapper? Do you think he wants to sit in jail for 1 second? It's my belief that Keefe D will be cooperating, ladies and gentlemen. And there's only one more big fish to bring down, allegedly. And we all know who that is, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. P. Diddy, Sean Diddy Combs, Puff Daddy, Brother Love. Allegedly. Keefe D has ratted on him in multiple interviews, talking about... Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Let me put this up real quick. Hold on. Because he talked about him in this. Keefe D's book. This is his book, Compton Street Legend. He told on P. Diddy in this book. Not to mention in the interviews, the multiple interviews that he did that we will be playing. We will be playing the interviews that he did. The multiple interviews. He has multiple interviews of ratting. And he did take a deal. He ratted in prison because I don't know exactly who he ratted on in the prison and yada yada yada. But we're here to focus on this because this is an old head. This is an original gangster that ratted, and I believe that they're going for the big fish. They're going for Diddy. Allegedly. Now, I'm not saying that, P. Diddy had anything to do with the deletion of life of Tupac Shakur, but they will be looking underneath every crack and crevice. And if Keefe D, a man who's 60 years old now, walk with me, y'all. Walk with me. 60 years old. I'm hearing that he's dealing with some type of ailments at his old age. A man that's 60 years old dealing with ailments. Do you really think he wants to sit in jail for over a decade, ladies and gentlemen? He will be spilling the beans. As a 60-year-old man, he will be spilling the beans. And I'm sure Diddy is, I'm not saying Diddy had anything to do with anything. I don't think, allegedly. I don't know. Nobody knows, Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. He's nor guilty or innocent. But Keefe D has named him not only in interviews, not only in, the book. He is totally giving the connection that Diddy and him had something to do with the 1996 shooting in Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. The fingerprints are there. The evidence is there. So I'm sure this is something that, Diddy is concerned about, allegedly. Now, we have to get into the interviews. The interviews that took place on Vlad TV. The interviews that took place on The Art of Dialogue, where this man is ratting. He's telling on himself. He's talking about who was in the car and who held the firearm and what they did afterward, where they dumped the car. I mean, so much evidence. And I heard when the police kicked down the door, because the police did kick down the door, ladies and gentlemen. They came through like A-Team. Dun, 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 dun. It was one dude, he hopped off the helicopter. One dude, he came out the all-white van, snatched somebody up. They came through with the M16s kicking down the door. And they arrested the 60-year-old man, this retired veteran gangbanger, ladies and gentlemen. And it's my belief that he does not want to do not 1 second. This is a 60-year-old man, ladies and gentlemen. We have to realize that. And it's being reported that he's dealing with ailments. 60 years old and dealing with ailments. Do you really think a man that's 60 years old dealing with ailments will not take that, that cooperation agreement, that will not take that, who wants to be sitting, in a jail cell rotting away at 60 years old with ailments? That's a bad look. So anybody who's thinking that he's going to keep the code of the streets as a man who's already cooperated, The man has already cooperated. So why wouldn't he, take down a bigger fish in allegedly Sean P. Diddy Combs, who he had made numerous allegations that P. Diddy had something to do with it. P. Diddy was, around it. He even in an interview, hopefully one of these videos has it, but I have seen the video. He said, P. Diddy said to him, "Hey, was that us?" After the 1996 shooting, ladies and gentlemen. So P. Diddy allegedly has his hand in this, allegedly, from what Keefe D is saying, allegedly. So let's go down the rabbit hole, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about this. Let's lay this thing down. Let's unpack Mr. Keefe D, a self-snitcher, a man who's been snitching on himself for a very long time. He's been on all the platforms telling on himself. But let's get into it. Mr. Keefe D. Now, this video comes by way of Vlad TV, where Keefe D is talking about Orlando Anderson, his cousin, the man who was originally thought to be the shooter. Now people are saying that it may be Keefe D. Keefe D may have been the one who pulled the trigger that fateful night. Now they're saying Keefe D may have something to do with that. But in this video, he's talking about how him and Orlando Anderson pulled up to Tupac Shakur's car and shots were fired. So let's get into this video by way of Vlad TV.
So let's talk about what happens next. Based on what the book says, Zip.
Now, that was his first mistake, ladies and gentlemen. Writing a book, because if you don't know, Keefe D, he took a proffer agreement, and in the proffer agreement, anything that he said in that proffer agreement, where he talked about the crime, talk about what happened, talk about who shot, talk about who did this, anything that he said in that proffer agreement in that room to law enforcement, he was good on. He got a deal from that proffer agreement. But when he walks away from that proffer agreement and gets on different platforms like Vlad TV, Art of Dialogue, that proffer agreement is no longer in place. That proffer agreement was only good for what was being said in that room to a law enforcement agency. So now he has to bite the bullet for all the self-snitching he did. He was under the false belief that the fact that he had that proffer agreement, under the false belief that he had that proffer agreement that he could talk at liberty about what happened that night. But he was sadly mistaken. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it.
Gave you guys a Glock, and you guys tossed it in the back seat. And Bubble Up was a driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together.
See, now Vlad is reading passages from the book, so he's already naming the people. And also, I want you guys to realize that every person that was in that car, from Orlando Anderson to the two other people, all have passed away. None of them are here anymore. Keefe D is the only one that is still alive. So that's another thing that people have to realize.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, "Tupac, Tupac."
No, we coming up, what's the name? What's that, Flamingo? Yeah, I think that's Flamingo. We was coming up Flamingo and got to the light. We was gonna go drink and smoke some weed, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He was hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
Details, ladies and gentlemen. He's giving away the details. He's spilling all the tea, as the ladies like to say. He's giving all the tea tonight.
So what happens next?
And we just came, and shit. I ain't gonna go into details like that, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, you got it in a book. You done played it, everything else.
Remember that scene in the Menace to Society? You know you done messed up, right? Now, we know what happened that fateful night. That's what he messed up at. He's telling everything. He's saying the car and how Tupac was hanging out the car and all of that and what street they was on. You giving us everything but what happened in that car. But we know what happened. We know somebody squeezed the trigger. We know that you pulled up on the car. We know that Tupac ultimately lost his life. So we already know what happened. You're just filling in the blanks, ladies and gentlemen. He's just filling in the blanks.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, in the book.
And this is where Vlad messed him up at. Vlad was messing him up because Vlad was pressing the issue, because Vlad is like kind of pissed off at him, because Vlad is like, dog, you wrote a whole book telling us what happened. So like he's like kind of confused, because like, I understand you trying to sell a couple books or whatever. But but bro, it's in the book. You might as well tell us what happened. I'm paying you for the interview. Tell us what happened.
You said that as you're driving,
that's where he got tripped up at.
Up towards the BMW with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat. And you said that Tupac pulled out a gun.
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Details, ladies and gentlemen. Keep remembering that. I'm going to keep saying that. He's continually giving details.
Yeah.
Did you actually see a gun?
No, shit. Once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started shooting at Tupac and Suge.
Lane starts blasting.
Now, this is from the proffer agreement. This audio and this audio is from the proffer agreement of him telling what had happened. So let's continue.
You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looked at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting shot. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out
in
of
the back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside of their
Jumping
car?
in. I seen a bullet going Suge's head. I thought he was dead.
So Orlando shot him across.
See, he didn't think none of this stuff was going to bite him in the behind. But see, you're running. You did this proffer agreement. After you took this proffer agreement, what he should have did was keep quiet for a couple years, maybe come out with a book and just not even, say anything about this. But the fact that he's on the internet, the fact that he's on YouTube and all these different platforms, it leaves it up to the police. The police are watching this. The police are seeing this. And they see the book. I heard when they raided his house, they took a copy of the book. So they are seeing all the things that you're adding to the story, because in the proffer agreement, you didn't say he was reaching. In the proffer agreement, you didn't say he was. I'm sure there was a lot of details that he did not throw in there. So he's like really tripping himself up right now.
Stray?
He leaned over on the window, we rolled down the window, popped.
Who was it?
They would drove on my side, I would have popped him. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa. See, he doing a lot of talking. Now look, this is him verbatim, ladies and gentlemen. Verbatim. This is what he said. If they was rolling on my side, I would have popped them. Now listen, ladies and gentlemen. Now this is what he don't understand all of the self-snitching he really did. Cause when you know what he just did, ladies and gentlemen, do you know what this man just did? I'm gonna give you guys a nutshell. He just self-snitched on himself. He just let it be known that he also had a firearm in that car. So hold on. Stop it. Stop the record, ladies and gentlemen. Either he's the shooter or it's another shooter, but he did have a firearm. He is confirming that he had a firearm that night. Listen, look at what he said. It's on the screen. If they rolled up on my side, I would have popped them. So he's snitching on himself right there, because he's telling law enforcement, I also had a car. I also had a firearm in that car. And if they would have rolled up on my side, I would have did the shooting that night. This man, he's done a lot of self-snitching in the proffer agreement, and now he's adding on to the story, adding on to what happened that night. Let's continue. Because this dude, he's doing a lot of self-snitching.
But they was on the other side.
Right.
I'm not gonna go into details on that one. Keep the streets on.
You're not gonna go into detail, keep it streets, but you was in the law enforcement office, underneath the bright lights, sweating hard, and you took the proffer agreement, but you don't want to tell us what happened, but you did all that self-stitching in the room, Keefe D. And now you're adding to the story. You know you done messed up, right? I don't understand how. Please stop saying we're going to keep it street. How are you going to keep it street when you already took the proffer agreement? You already took an agreement, sir. How are you keeping it street? You were sweating like a hog underneath the bright lights in the interrogation room, and they tripped you up. You already admitted in that recorded statement. You already admitted that you had a gun on you. You admitted that you had a firearm. If they would have, that's what you said verbatim. If they would have rolled up on my side, I would have popped them. Ladies and gentlemen, he just admitted that he had a firearm in the car that night. Now, who is the shooter? Is it him or is it Orlando Anderson? Let's continue.
I ain't gonna go into detail on that.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and read from the book.
Well,
So
let them buy the book then.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to read this passage.
He's really trying to knock those books off. He's trying to get them books off. You know what I mean?
It was on. Tupac made an erratic move and began to reach down beneath his seat. It was the first and only time in my life that I could relate to the police command. Keep your hands where I could see them. Instead, Pac pulled out a strap, and that's when the fireworks started. One of my guys from the back seat grabbed the Glock and started busting back. The first shot skinned Suge in the head, and I thought that motherfucker was dead. I had heard some stories, supposedly that Suge used Tupac as a shield when the bullets started flying, but that's some bullshit. Suge was already wounded, and he was the one that got touched. As the rounds continued flying, I ducked down so I wouldn't get hit.
Basically, yeah.
Pretty much he confirmed everything. Now keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, when the cops kicked down the door, they took a copy of his book. I'm sure they already had the book, but they took the book, and I'm sure they got a copy of all these videos of himself snitching on himself. Let's continue.
White Cadillac, arm came out the back seat.
Now this is Idi Amin from the Outlaws, right? He's talking about the story. He's talking about the story what happened that fateful night.
Start letting off.
What went through your head when you saw that?
They shoot my nigga.
So the bullets started flying. Tupac and Suge's car get all shot up. Was there, and I'd heard different versions of the story, but the one version I heard was that that their entourage started shooting back.
Basically, yes.
Okay. Does anyone from
he's telling all the details. See, that's what I don't get about these OGs that do all this self-snitching, all this chatting. It's like you're giving all the details when, you know, maybe you may not want to give the intimate details. Okay, who shot the bullet, who held the gun, yada yada yada, but you're giving all the other details away. So it's like and then we already heard the audio of you know, saying that if they would have rolled up on your side, you would have popped them. So now there's more added to the story that you had a firearm in that car that night. A lot of self-snitching.
the death row side return fire?
Yes.
Okay. Can you say what that was?
Yeah, he's no longer with us. His name was Bunch.
If you come in here, make sure you like the video. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you like the comment. Let's continue with the video.
One of Suge's right-hand guy, our good friend, Alton McDonald. He chased the car down.
They saying they left their guns at home though. They started shooting back. Then some chicks was in the sea breeze, started following a white sea breeze, ragtop sea breeze.
Why were the girls following you guys?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's crazy.
But I guess their window got shot out.
Front windshield, yeah.
Again, details, ladies and gentlemen. Details. Adding more details.
And they stopped following you at that point.
Now the police, what's going to happen I'm sure what's happening currently, what they're going to do, they're going to show him all these interviews where he's ratting and he's adding more to the details. So now look, they're going to pull up that proffer agreement and they're going to say, oh, this is what you said in the proffer agreement, right? Now we're going to play your interviews. Now we're going to add more details of what you did there. They're going to add all of this stuff to him. And he looks really bad right now, ladies and gentlemen, because now we could correct the theory. The police and the law enforcement can now correct the theory, allegedly, that this man was the shooter. Was Keefe D the shooter all along? Because, you know, they've been, and we're gonna talk a little bit about Orlando Anderson later, the man who allegedly was alleged to be the shooter of Tupac Shakur. But let's continue with this video.
Exactly.
I've talked to a couple people that were there about the situation, and from what they told me was that, you know, you guys came up, you know, the car that you were in came up behind Tupac's car. You guys didn't, the cars were not facing each other.
No, they weren't facing each other.
They were not facing each other.
Gutter lane.
You guys got up parallel to them, behind them. And, you know, when you look
side
by side. So how would you even see Tupac reach for anything if you're driving behind him?
See, Vlad doing more to trip him up.
We weren't driving behind. I tell you, we were side by side at the light.
Oh, okay. You guys were already side by side.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing with Vlad. But you can't really blame Vlad, because Vlad is conducting an interview, so he's gonna use whatever information he can get. I mean, that's the duty of a great interviewer, is to get all the information that you can. So you can't really, it's because you got to think, you're the one who took this interview. You took the money to do the interview. So if you get tripped up, I mean, you took the what I'm sure he gave him at least 15 to 10 racks for that interview. So, but I mean, it's your responsibility when you get tripped up in these interviews. Now let's play another video. Now this is from The Art of Dialogue. In this video, Keefe D gets mad when asked if Big Dre, now Big Dre is the man who was also in the car. So keep in mind, it's Keefe D, Big Dre and Orlando Anderson, and there's another person. There's 4 people in the car. So he gets mad when the interviewer asks him, was it Big Dre who shot Tupac, right? And then he says in this interview, you trying to put me in prison. Well, listen, doing all these interviews is what put you in prison. You should have never took all these interviews, Keefe D. That's what got you in prison, if you want to be honest. But let's continue.
And another thing, the FBI was coming up there fucking every month, dude. They knew what was up, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? If you a gangster and they come to talk to you, they use this psychology game. They put this board up on you, you know what I'm saying? That'll fuck your mind up. You know what I'm saying? Every time they was come up into that prison, they had that board up there. You know what I'm saying? And, if you pay attention to that board, that shit'll have you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's a psychology board. You know what I'm saying? People don't know about it. But they got a board up there where they had the snitches and, you know what I'm saying? They had us where we was in the car. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh.
Now, these are the 4 people that were in the car. See, here you have Orlando. Now, that's Keefe D. That's Terrence T. Brown. And that's Dre. And I guess that's Big Dre. Now, these are the 4 people in the car that night, ladies and gentlemen. So, now keep in mind, they're saying that allegedly there was allegedly, now this is allegedly, ladies and gentlemen, they're saying that there was a person of let's say bigger built, right? So they allegedly if this dude right here, the Terrence T. Brown, they're saying that if he's the driver, right? Now listen, keep in mind, if Orlando Anderson is right behind, now keep in mind, Tupac's car, Suge's car is on this side. It's right, right where Keefe D is, right? It's on the opposite side. So they pulled up. This is the driver right here. Now, either the shooter allegedly could have been Mr. Big Dre, or could it have been Orlando Anderson who reached over and did it? Or was it Keefe D all along who reached around from the driver's side? Let's continue.
Fuck. So, you know what I'm saying? They was up on it, dude. They knew the shit. They knew what I was gonna say before I even said it. They knew what happened. They knew what happened already, dude. They said that's why they say if you lie, the shit is off the table.
See that? Oh man, he messed himself up, bro. Cause now, pretty much they have the whole story now. So I'm guessing. This is what I think. This is my theory, y'all. I think that the feds, when the feds came and questioned them, I think the feds already know. The feds already know who did it. They pretty much know who the shooter was. They probably knew it wasn't him, but the fact that he's doing all this self-snitching now, the fact that he's coming out with all these books and all these interviews, it's looking bad now. Because now he's adding to the story. Now he's messing up the proffer agreement. He's going back on his word. He's out there, in all these interviews, adding to the stories, adding to what had happened. Now he's getting tripped up now. So now that they're gonna mess him up, the Las Vegas PD. Now keep in mind, he took that. I believe he took that proffer agreement in Los Angeles. So that's not a profit agreement for Las Vegas. He lives in Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. So let's continue.
We already know what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's wild, man. So they already knew where everybody was sitting at in the white Cadillac.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was in prison, they came up there in 99.
See, looking at this chart, now this chart right here on the right side, if y'all can see it pulled up right here. Maybe I could, let me see. Hopefully it's big enough for y'all that y'all can see that. But this chart is kind of telling. Because think about it. If the car is on the left-hand side, right? To me, it only makes sense that either Big Dre did it. Because it doesn't make sense for Keefe D to reach around from the driver's seat. Now, keep in mind, this is the driver's seat. He's gonna reach around, and Keefe D is a big dude. Keefe D is not no small dude. He's a big dude. He's always been a big dude. He's never been a slender man. So he's a big dude. So it doesn't make sense for a big dude to reach around, go around, or try to go over the driver here. It only makes sense for the slender man to reach over, or for the slender man to pass the big man the firearm and shoot. So it only makes sense for either these two, Orlando Anderson or Big Dre, to be the shooter that night, ladies and gentlemen. It only makes sense. But I believe that Keefe D, the man he's the only one alive now. All of these people are no longer here. It's only Keefe D. So all of his words that he's saying now in all these interviews and all of these, Vlad TVs, the Art of Dialogue, he's adding and he's interpreting and putting more to the story that's tripping him up. So let's continue.
The little where we sitting at in the car and all that shit. It's a psychology board. If you pay attention to that shit'll fuck your mind up. I'm just letting you know, these gangster motherfuckers, don't look at that fucking board. Don't pay attention to it. You know what I'm saying? They just
He's cursing too much.
Fuck y'all.
Good
You know what
grief.
I'm saying?
He got cold feet. So Big Dre,
Yeah.
Now let's see what he says right here, because the interviewer did ask him an important question. Let's hear it.
how you feel about the people that feel like Big Dre, he shot Tupac? Because you did make a confession some years ago, man, and you said that you gave the gun to Big Dre, but he got cold feet. So Orlando, he ended up snatching the gun and shooting Tupac.
No.
Was Big Dre like that? Was he capable of doing that? Was he a shooter?
Them dudes was kids, man. Both of them dudes was kids back then. They was kids, dude. Them dudes was kids. Dre was an all-CIO basketball player, dude. You know what I'm saying? Big Dre was an all-CIO basketball player. You know what I'm saying? A nice shot, all that shit. Dunking and all that shit. Them dudes was kids. Dre was an athlete. Them dudes was athletes, dude. They weren't about that, Yeah. Back then, Dre was a...
So, see, he's messing himself up, bro. He don't even realize it. Because now, all right, Keefe D. If you're saying that, okay, Orlando Anderson, he's a kid. He didn't have the heart to do it. And then you're saying Big Dre, he was a kid. He was, he was a basketball player, an athlete. He didn't have he got cold feet. So now it only leaves you as the shooter, Keefe D. Were you the one that had the heart that night? Were you the one that pulled the trigger that fateful night? He's adding a lot to the story. See, he's doing a lot to trip himself up, but he got to understand the law enforcement is watching. They're watching this. They're on the YouTube. They're watching every word you say, waiting for you to trip up, waiting for you to, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen, the interviewer will ask you some tough questions. He will ask you for whatever he can get that's going to get some clickbait, that's going to get people clicking the video, because he feels, hey, I paid you handsomely. I'm sure Keefe D probably got 10, 15, maybe even 20K to come through, do this interview, to be asked the tough questions. And the interview was saying, listen, man, I paid you well. You got the book out. You did Vlad TV. You was self-snitching in all those videos. Why you can't come on my platform? Let me ask you some tough questions. But in answering, ladies and gentlemen, that tough question, he's getting tripped up. He's getting tripped up with his words. He's getting tripped up on who held the firearm. He's getting tripped up.
So he pulled the trigger.
Man, we already discussed that. Was you trying to get me in jail again?
Bro, you're going. I mean, he's already in jail right now. Yo, what up, Reese? What up, Reese? World? Yeah, I mean, he's already in jail. What's he talking about? The man. I mean, and Keefe D. He's one of these guys that, unfortunately, a lot of these old heads, they're addicted to clout. They're almost like, you know, how young women are. They're just addicted to the clout. And, you know, he's suffering now because, you know, instead of just being, you know, from the old school and just keeping a tight lip on things and not talking about all the things you did, what happened in the car, who pulled the trigger, who did this, who did that, who sat where, instead of just keeping a tight lip and keeping your mouth shut, he did all this self-snitching. And he's paying dearly for it. The man is 60 years old, ladies and gentlemen. And he's dealing with all types of ailments. The man got grandkids, for Pete's sake. I mean, but let's get into this next video. And now in this video, Keefe D, he says, Tupac tried to jump in the back seat when Orlando Anderson shot up the BMW. Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, in the last video, he didn't want to tell he didn't want to talk about who shot up the car, right? He didn't want to say or who had the trigger. He said, the interviewer asked him, oh, so who shot the car? Who shot at the Tupac? Did Big Dre have the gun? Oh, I'm not going to say nothing. I don't want to say nothing, right? But in this interview, now he's talking about, oh, when Orlando Anderson shot up the car, Tupac jumped in the back seat. So, I mean, come on now. Stop self-snitching.
Is it true that Puff Daddy had a bounty on the death row chains?
No. Like they say, they said it's $10,000. It don't make sense because the chains weren't worth like
what up, Sinclair?
$10,000. Some little punk ass change worth about $500-$600 back then. That was a bullshit change.
Listen, what you saying is true. I mean, maybe. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think he was looking for free health care. I think that he's just an old head. Because listen, we've seen this before. I've seen this story before. If you don't know, A.R. Ab, a popular Philadelphia goon, he was another one who got tripped up with his words. And I think that a lot of the OGs are just, they think that when they do these interviews on the Vlad, on the Art of Dialogue, they think that they talking to like niggas. They think they're talking to niggas on the block. For some reason, they don't think that these interviews are going to be played in a police precinct, in an FBI office. They don't think that these interviews are going to get played in those places and that people are going to share these videos to law enforcement. They think they're just talking to people that's on the streets, the hip hop community, dudes on the block, brothers on the block. They don't think that these interviews are going to get played in, you know, in very crucial places. And they get tripped up on their words. Somebody does some research. Somebody looks into them. They look into their criminal record. They look into their background. They may do some investigation, and then they wind up in prison. And that, we've seen that story happen over and over and over. He's just another victim, to be honest with you.
I guess he get that to his little henchmen.
Shout out to everybody that's in here. I said we got 10 people in here. Make sure y'all like this video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man.
Bullshit changed the way.
Yeah, because I know Suge Knight, Tupac, Snoop, they wasn't wearing no, you know, cheap chains like that. So it had to be his henchmen. So you saying his henchmen was wearing like...
That was a bullshit change. I wouldn't have wear that bullshit. I wouldn't have put that on my neck.
So how you know the change was cheap?
Because I seen it.
How you seen it?
The homies had it. They came back from the mall.
Okay, so with that being said, man, let's get right into that, man. So the Lakewood Mall incident with Trayvon Lane.
Now, the Lakewood Mall incident is an incident, right? This is the incident that ultimately is why Tupac lost his life. Now, this is what happened in the incident. Orlando Anderson, he snatches one of the Mob Piru's chain, right? He snatches one of their chains. Now, it's not confirmed or denied that either he took the chain or he beat up one of the guys and tried to take the chain, right? But ultimately, that whole altercation bled off into the MGM fight with Tupac pretty much, you know, hits Orlando Anderson with a sucker punch from behind, and they wound up jumping the man. Orlando Anderson is the man that was at the mall that day and that was trying to take the Mob Piru's chain. So let's continue.
Give me a detailed account of everything that took place.
I wasn't there, but One of my little homies, he's for to play for Arizona, University of Arizona. And he was at the mall. And my nephew and all the other homies was on their way to meet him to buy him some stuff so he can go off to college. And they was already trying to press him. It was
I agree. He pretty much did this interview for money, Sinclair. I agree. He pretty much. He's a retired gangster. He's no longer, he was a big drug dealer back in the day, but so he just needed a couple $1,000 for these interviews. But ultimately, his words are tripping him up today, because he didn't think these interviews would be played in law enforcement and offices and FBI offices. And now, as a 60-year-old man, he's going to be doing some hard time. And we're gonna talk about Diddy, because I think it might be shine time for Diddy, because I could see him. He may have to take another deal on Diddy. Allegedly, I don't know what Diddy did. I don't know what Diddy did do or Diddy didn't do. I didn't know if Diddy did it or not, but he may have to take a cooperation agreement on Diddy or something. But let's get back to it.
Trayvon Lane and a couple of more dudes. I think Kevin Woods, some other dude. It was 3.
Now, Baby Lane is the guy who. Baby Lane, all right, if you don't know, Baby Lane is the guy who got his chain snatched. He's the guy who's the mob pyro who got his chain snatched, I believe so, right? So, Baby Lane is the guy who tells Tupac and a bunch of other mob pyros, hey, Orlando Anderson, he's standing over there. He's the guy who tried to take my chain. So, ultimately, those guys, they run over to Orlando Anderson and they jump him.
And once my little homie seen, he's a football player, motherfucker.
I agree 100%, Sinclair. What you're saying is absolutely right. All over a chain. All of this is over a chain. We lost 2 of the greatest rappers over a dusty chain. The chain probably wasn't even worth the metal it was dangling from. Like, honest, the pendant wasn't probably worth it was probably, at that point in time, that chain was probably worth $500 to $700. 2 of the greatest rappers lost over a chain, bro. It's crazy to think about it.
I'm saying Eddie was strong safety. So once he see the homies come through the door, that's when he knocked Trayvon Lane out and took his chain. Snatched his chain at the same time. Boom. And one of them got knocked out through the shoe rack. Knocked out all the shoes. They fucked him up bad. Yeah.
Trayvon Lane, he said y'all never took the chain. Y'all tried to, but y'all didn't get it.
I agree, Reese. What you saying, it is sad. It's messed up. I mean, all over a chain. That's crazy.
Well, yeah, the chain. Marcus. He passed away though. That's just that was bullshit chains.
Even he know them chains was janky. Them chains was janky, bro. I mean, them chains was janky, bro. They wasn't no fancy. Like, you got to think, this is 96, 97. Them chains wasn't like bust down with, jewel, with like diamonds glistening off of it. Them chains was like a plain chain. It was like straight gold, platinum. Nobody was wearing platinum in 96. It was all gold. And, couple dudes had a couple, chains that had a little bit of diamonds in it, but it was not bust down. It wasn't like none of those chains the Migos be wearing or none of your favorite rappers be wearing. It was not looking like that. It was a nasty $500, $700 chain at the time, probably worth less now. And we still don't know now. Them chains could have been like, bang, bang. Them chains could have been like, hollow or what. It's probably looking tarnished by now. It was probably cheap metal. It was probably mixed in with some type of copper. Like, them chains wasn't even worth nothing. He knows it.
I wouldn't wear that bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Orlando Anderson, he was involved with that incident, right?
He was there. Yeah, he was up there. It was about 8 of them. 8 homies went up there.
If y'all in here, make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all like this video. Let's continue.
Southside handle their business.
Did Orlando talk to you about the incident?
Everybody that came back from the wall told me about the shit. told me what happened. They was laughing. And, like, motherfucker.
The Tupac Vegas incident. Why was y'all in Vegas in the first place?
Coming to the fights. We was going to the fights before the rappers. Before Suge even had a record company.
See, and if y'all don't know about Keefe D's backstory, Keefe D was a popular drug dealer. He was, you know, he was dealing with a lot of weight. He was making a lot more money than a lot of the rappers. He talks about how he met Diddy and how he was, you know, he had the champagne and he had the Brioni suits and the chains and all of that. He was a big time drug dealer at one time. So, you know, I don't, you know, he started mixing and mangling with P. Diddy, you know, who's not the best guy to, you know, to align yourself with. But, you know, Diddy got him in a jam, if you will, right now. But let's continue.
We've been going to the fight since like 88, 89. Yeah. Come down there for the big fights.
So did y'all have tickets to that fight?
Yeah.
Y'all did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got them from my little scapper partner. Scapper.
It was like Tupac, right? A day prior?
I didn't talk. Tupac don't know me.
But Suge Knight, you had a
Yeah, I
with
was,
Suge
we
Knight.
was waiting on our cars at the valet at the MGM, and they pulled up.
Let me see if I can get to the way he talks about the shooting.
Just take me through that Saturday, everything leading up to the incident.
We had got.
YouTube got to pay their bills. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. YouTube got to pay their bills. Hold on. Yeah, but if you're in here, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, the check-in report. YouTube got to pay their damn bills. Or the art of dialogue. That's what they got to pay. When did YouTube start having to play two commercials? I remember the old days when it was just one commercial. Now we got 2, 3, 4.
On the scapper dude, and he had us place.
YouTube's turning into Twitch.
We was gonna meet at the cafe after the fight. That was all our plans. So
Let's see if we can skip to the night.
I was more mad than him.
Take me through that. You know, Orlando, he got jumped. What happened after that?
Now he's talking about when Orlando got jumped at the MGM. Let's get to that.
So we ran into the New York dudes. Them. They asked us, do we need some help? We like, nah, we good. And then my little homie, we had some little homies out here selling work, kilos and shit. They like, man, we know.
Now keep in mind, everything he's saying is gonna be used against him. Cause the first thing I'm telling you, when they put him in that room, when they locked him up, they're gonna play all of these interviews back for him. They're gonna show him all the things he said. They're gonna rip up that proffer agreement, and we're gonna start from day one. We're ripping up the proffer agreement because that is no longer in action. So they're gonna rip that up, and they're gonna say, "All right, these are your choices. This is what they're gonna come to Keefe D with." I'm gonna let y'all know right now. First, they're gonna rip up that proffer agreement, and they're gonna say, "Listen, these are your two choices. You could sit in jail for your natural born life, right? As a 60-year-old man with ailments, right? Or you tell us absolutely every single detail, and it better be factual, and it better be factual, and it better be honest. And ultimately, we want the bigger fish. We want Sean P. Diddy Combs, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I believe is the bigger play here. Sean P. allegedly. Now, I'm not saying Diddy had anything to do with this or Diddy had anything to do with that. But I believe the police will be looking into Sean P. Diddy Combs a little bit stronger. Because if Keefe D flips and he says, you know what? It was all P. Diddy's idea. It was all P. Diddy's fault. It was all P. Diddy. P. Diddy called the shot. P. Diddy's the one who ordered the hit. P. Diddy is the one who did that. If he gets into that interrogation room, ladies and gentlemen, and he starts squealing like a little piglet, and he throws Sean P. Diddy Combs underneath the bus, allegedly. I don't know if allegedly, I don't know. P. Diddy got a lot of lawyers, allegedly. I don't know if P. Diddy had anything to do with it. I am not confirming that he did. I don't know. Not at all. I don't know if P. Diddy was there or if he had any he could be lying about P. Diddy. For all we know, he could be lying that he even knows Diddy. I never seen him in the picture with Diddy. So he could be lying, allegedly. But if he flips and he gives some evidence, don't be surprised if, the feds kick down the door on the bad boy officers.
You know what them niggas gonna be? They gonna be at the 662 Club. They've been advertising this all week. They gonna perform this night. So we went up there. And my little homies went down.
Nah, this Sinclair, this video comes from The Art of Dialogue. I played the Vlad interview earlier. But yeah. Listen, man, that's another thing. Can I just talk about that for a second? We have to stop with the Vlad is a cop, Vlad is an informant. You have to ask yourself, everybody who's watching this, right? Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all like the video. But in terms of Vlad, right? Let me just speak on Vlad for 1 second. You have to ask yourself, right? Keep in mind, you're a criminal, right? You're a criminal. You're some type of big drug dealer, or you're some type of person who's doing illegal things, or let's say, in his case, you have knowledge of alleged bodies that somebody caught or somebody did a crime that you was there for, right? Ask yourself, what are you doing on a couch speaking about that crime? What are you doing on a couch speaking about the criminal things that you did and the things that you were a part of? You have to ask yourself that. It's not indicative of the interviewer to cover your behind and make sure you don't get entrapped in some type of criminal case. You have to do your due diligence, because we've seen this before. I mean, from Casanova 2 times, AR Ab, now we got Keefe D, Tax Stone. All of these people got tripped up because they was trying to sell an image on Vlad TV. It's not Vlad's fault. It's not Vlad's fault. It's not Vlad's fault that the police precinct has YouTube. It's not Vlad's fault that the FBI offices have Wi-Fi and they could look up a Vlad TV interview. I mean, that's what essentially that people are trying to point the finger at Vlad, when Vlad is just an interview. He's just a person who just puts up an interview and people watch it. It's not Vlad's fault that FBI have Wi-Fi and they can watch YouTube videos. Like, I don't get it. I swear, I just don't get it. People have to realize that. You can't point the finger at Vlad. Vlad is not the problem. It's the culture is the problem. The fact that people think that they can get on camera and talk about crimes, talk about the things that they did, and think that they're not gonna, have some type of backlash is ludicrous to me. I mean, if somebody caught a bunch of bodies and they're speaking on liberty, now keep in mind, there's no statute of limitations on bodies and stuff like that. So if you sitting on a couch and you talking about bodies that you caught, I mean, it would be safe to say that you would be doing some type of backlash. You would be doing some type of, time. The only person that I've seen speak at liberty about, bodies that they caught was probably Sammy Gravano. He's probably the only person that I've seen speak at liberty about things. But the thing about him, he worked with the feds. He was a federal cooperator. We talking about a proffer agreement with the Los Angeles police. His proffer agreement doesn't supersede what Los Angeles want to charge him with, or what the feds want to charge him with. So he really stepped in some real poo here. He stepped into dog poo. But let's continue.
Got the choppers. And Mob James talking about he's seen us back there. He lucky he didn't see us. We didn't see him. You know what I'm saying? They lucky they didn't show up. You know what I'm saying? We had some headhunters with us, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
he's adding more to the story. He's adding more to the story. Now he's talking about he had more hitters with him. There you go. Let's go.
Lucky they didn't show up. 3 choppers. It would have been a massacre, you know? Yeah. There's Just pulled up there and shit.
Exactly. What you saying is true, Reese. People don't be thinking. People don't use their brain. They don't think like, yo, I shouldn't say this, or maybe I should withhold this information, because at the end of the day, they're trying to sell a book. Like him. Keefe D was trying to sell a book. He was on Vlad TV. Hey, promote the book. Hey, I don't want to speak on that. Let them buy the book. That's what he was doing. When AR Ab was on that couch and he was talking about he was using drug money to buy buildings and stuff like that, right? He wasn't thinking nothing of that. You know what he was trying to do? He was trying to sell a gangster image to sell his records. That's what he was trying to do. Casanova, another one. I was the biggest gangster in Brooklyn. I did this. I'm ape. I'm a gorilla ape and yada, yada, yada. He was trying to sell an image. He was trying to sell a gangster image to sell records. And all of these men didn't think that it was going to come back and bite them. They don't think for 1 second that the FBI is watching. They don't think for 1 second that the FBI have Wi-Fi access and can access the internet, and they can easily type in Vlad TV on a YouTube search. And they are sadly mistaken.
Pulled up there, waited up there for about an hour. Miles James said 10 minutes. They want to fucking 10 minutes.
If you're in here, make sure you like this video. Let's get back to a check-in report.
Waited up there about an hour. We got tired and went on, let's go get high. Go buy some champagne bottles, Cristal and Don Perignon. Stop at the store.
See, now they talking about they celebrating. They were celebrating. They clicking wine glasses together. They pouring up the Dom Perignon and the champagne. This is more details that they're gonna add up to that story. Listen, when they put him in that interrogation room, when they raided his house and they arrested him, right? Listen, how much you want to bet they ripped up that proffer agreement? They ripped that. They wiped their behinds with that proffer agreement and flushed it down the toilet. And they told this man, listen, we're gonna start from point A. Point A. You're gonna tell us absolutely every single thing that happened that night. You're gonna tell us from point A to point B, when you met Diddy, when you talked to Diddy about Tupac. You're gonna talk about your former gang affiliation. We want to know every single bowel movement you made up until to the shooting of Tupac Shakur. That's what they're gonna do to this man. Because listen, man, he's 60 years old, bro. You gotta think, if you're 60 years old and you're dealing with medical ailments, do you want to spend the rest of your life in jail? He has a choice to make. And I'm sure all of that gangster, I'm keeping it cold in the streets. That's going to be all thrown out the window very shortly. But let's continue.
About that shit. When we left, we was in 3 cars, matter of fact. And the other 2 cars missed the light. So we kept on going, headed towards the hotel. When we got to Flamingo, so dude was hanging out. He was like he was in a parade or something. Stupid ass, hanging out the window.
See, now he's talking about Tupac hanging out the window on the Sunset Strip.
He was like, Tupac. And we like, oh, there go that motherfucker. We popped a Yui. And that was it.
So I want to back.
See, every time we get to the the alleged act that happened that night of him shooting or Orlando Anderson or Big Dre or whoever did the shooting, he tries to be vague about that. But the thing is, the feds already laid it out for him. He already talked about in the last video how the feds had the chart. They put the chart up, right, and they had everybody in the car where they were sitting at, and they pretty much told him what had happened. He confirmed it. So either the shooter was either Big Dre or was Orlando Anderson, because nobody is believing. I don't believe for 1 second that Keefe D. Now Keefe D, let's be honest, the man is he's a big grown dude, bro. I don't believe for 1 second, because he was in the driver's seat passenger side. I don't believe for 1 second that he reached over another big dude to shoot a firearm. So either it was the big dude in the back seat or it was Orlando Anderson. Just tell it how it is. I'm sure I'm sure, I can almost guarantee, ladies and gentlemen, that when they put him in that interrogation room, he will be spilling the beans of what happened that night.
Track a little. So y'all was waiting at 662. Tupac and Suge Knight didn't show up. But if I'm not mistaken, y'all was actually waiting at 662 for Tupac and Orlando can fight, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that, because Orlando actually wanted to fight Tupac, right?
Yeah, he's gonna get his ass knocked out.
So I guess they was trying to schedule some type of fade, and it didn't work out because I guess Keefe D didn't have, this is 1996. This was before cell phones. This was before, iPhones and Samsung and Android. So I guess they couldn't get in touch with each other. Now, in my opinion, that would have been a better idea instead of, grabbing a firearm and ultimately somebody losing their life. Shout out to Atlanta Bird Gang. Here, what you saying is true. He already told what had happened that night. Pretty much he did. He wrote in the book what happened. He took a proffer agreement, right? And he told. So this is two forms of media that he already spilled the beans of what happened. Now, you have to ask yourself, why, and when he gets on these interviews, he keeps, he doesn't want to tell the story. He like every time he gets, now keep in mind, look, he'll go to Vlad, he'll go to Art of Dialogue, he'll tell them every intricate detail of the story. Tupac was hanging out the window. I passed the gun to this person. We busted Yui. All of these different details, right? But when it comes to what actually happened, the shooting, right? He doesn't want to say, right? Now, listen, when they rip up that proffer agreement, because they will rip up that proffer agreement, they're going to play all of these different videos with all these different stories about what happened. You busted Yui. Tupac was hanging out the window. Tupac was doing a cartwheel. Tupac was, come on, man. Suge Knight was doing the electric boogaloo on the streets. All of these different stories. And they're going to tell this dude, listen, you're 60 years old. You're dealing with ailments. You need to tell the truth. You need to tell the damn truth of what happened that night. Or you're going to be sitting in jail for 25 years. As a 60-year-old man, you make the choice. And I believe, and when they tell him that, he's going to start spilling the beans on Diddy. He's going to start spilling the beans on a lot of things. Now, a lot of you are going to say, well, why didn't he spill the beans on Diddy earlier? I agree. But this might be the point in time where he does spill the beans, because that might be his last lifeline right now. That might be his last lifeline, because the only bigger fish than him is Diddy. Allegedly. Now, we don't know if Diddy had anything to do. I'm going to keep saying that. I'm going to keep saying it. Because I'm going to be honest, I have never seen Keefe D in a picture with Diddy. He says his name a lot in a lot of interviews, right? He says his name in a lot of interviews. I have never seen Keefe D in a picture, in a video with Puff Daddy. So I have to say allegedly. But let's get back into the video.
Yeah, hands. One punch.
Oh, for real? He had hands?
Oh, hell yeah, like God.
If you're in here, make sure you like this video. Make sure you like the video, man. Let's get back into it.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. Orlando saying he wanted to fight Tupac and have a heads up with him.
We just, I was gonna tell Suge, let him get down. That's all. You just gonna beat his ass.
See, that's another part that they're gonna have to add that to the story. You tried to contact Suge after this whole kerfluffle, at the whole where Orlando Anderson got jumped. Let's continue.
So y'all was at 662, Tupac and Suge Knight didn't show up. So that's when y'all decided to retaliate, and that's when y'all was like, okay.
We just left because they didn't show up.
Okay. Von Zip is the one that provided y'all with the gun, right?
I don't know nothing about that.
Now he's talking about, hold on. Run that back. Now you see how he cracked the smile, right? Look at him. You see how he cracked the smile, right? Run that back. I gotta play that again. Hold on.
Because they didn't show up.
Okay. Von Zip is the one that provided y'all with the gun.
He asked him, was Zip the one who provided you with the gun?
I don't know nothing about that.
You see, and he cracks a smile. Now look, in the book, he talks about it. He talks about how somebody provided him with the gun. Let's continue.
I mean, it's in the book and everything.
Thank you. That's what he keeps getting tripped up at. Because he keeps, This is an old nigga who he keeps getting tripped up, and he's 60 years old. Now I don't know I don't know if any of y'all dealt with people that's getting older, that's they're in their 60s. They start to become forgetful of things. They start to forget things. He still think he's on the block. He still think he's talking to some block kids and giving them the run around and giving them the fake story. No, dog, you're talking to the internet. You're talking to the same people that probably brought your book. I'm sure the interviewer had the book. In the last video with DJ Vlad, he read the passage. So he keeps getting tripped up. And the police are going to take note of that. The police, when they put him in the interrogation room, they're going to be like, dog, you keep giving people all these different stories. You tell one person that this person gave you the gun. You write in the book that this person gave you the gun. In another interview, you're saying you don't know who had the gun. He keeps tripping himself up. And ultimately, that's what I believe got him in prison. It wasn't the fact that he kept, talking about these things. It was the fact that he keep with all these different stories that don't make sense. Because I ain't gonna lie, I don't think he was the shooter that night. I could be wrong. Allegedly, I don't know who did it or who didn't do it, but I think that he pretty much spilled the beans already. But the fact that he keeps coming with these different stories, he keeps reneging on the stories, he's adding new details. Now the police feel like, hey, listen, we got to come and kick the door on this dude. Because he keeps tripping up on all these words. He keeps going back on what he said. That proffer agreement, it means nothing now because he's on different platforms telling different stories. He has a book out. And he's catching hell for it now. Atlanta Bergen. The thing about Diddy is really is no way to prove that. Keefe could have been capping. I agree. I said that earlier, Atlanta Bird Gang, that pretty much, I mean, there's no proof, Atlanta Bird Gang. Thanks for joining us. There's no proof that, Diddy and Keefe D ever, had any connection. I mean, I'm still looking for a photo of them. I'm still looking for a video of them. I'm still looking for some type of evidence, some type of clues that could say, yeah, these two know each other. I mean, do they have anything? Does he have anything? A bad boy chain, maybe a bad boy flyer from a G-Dep party. Does he have anything that could tie Diddy to him? Because, that's what the police are going to look for that as well. I mean, it's crazy. Reese says, if people that use the internet chronologically forget they're talking to the internet, I can imagine someone who's 60 will most definitely forget. I agree. Someone that's his age would forget the story. But the thing is, it's not up to people to make you remember the story. Like, it's up to you. Just because you in your 60s and you keep talking about this body that you caught with 4 people in the car, you snitched on one of them. The person passed away or whatever. It's all right. But I mean, ultimately, the police, they're going to trip you up on your words and they're going to use your words against you because you keep adding new details to the story. He keeps adding new details to the story. So why wouldn't the police use that to trip him up? Why wouldn't the police use that to jam him up? Because you got to think, he probably, right? He took the proffer agreement. He told them a story, right? Now, he also talked about how the feds had him in an interrogation room and they asked him about the story. He probably gave them a different story, right? So now look at the events. He talks to the Los Angeles Police Department, right? The Los Angeles Police Department, they take a proffer agreement on his charges, right? So he tells them the story. He takes the proffer agreement. He leaves. He talks to the FBI. They give him he gives them a story. So they give them a different story. Now he's on the internet 10 years later, 12 years later, and he's giving these different platforms different stories. So why wouldn't they jam him up? It looks like you gave all these different platforms different stories. It looks like you gave all these different places, whether it's the Los Angeles Police Department, whether it's the FBI, whether it's Vlad TV, whether it's the Art of Dialogue, you gave everybody a different story of what happened that night. Now you're getting jammed up because of it. Let's continue.
Hold on, about that. Ask Greg Kate, you believe most of his stories. You know? You do though.
Yeah, Greg Caden said it. I mean, it said it in the book. I got your book, the audio book.
See, he got the whole world fucked up. Like you got you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like I said, that.
No, this is in your book.
Is fucking.
See, that. He's getting so tripped up. He's talking about Greg Kading. Greg Kading is the one, I believe, who did the profit agreement with him, and he's also the one who has been investigating this crime, right? He's mixing up Greg Kading with his book. The interviewer keeps telling him, "Nah, this is from your book, bro. This is not from Greg Kading. This is from your book. In the book, you're talking about this person gave you the gun and yada yada yada." Yo, you bringing up Greg Kading. Greg Kading ain't got nothing to do with you snitching. He ain't got nothing to do with you giving all these different details and stories. He's an old head who keeps getting tripped up on his words. And I believe that he told all these different places, whether it be the Los Angeles Police Department who gave him the profit agreement, whether it be the Federal Bureau of Investigation who's had a sit down talk with him, whether it be Vlad TV, who he did an interview with, whether it be Art of Dialogue, who he did an interview with. He gave all these different platform stories, different tales, and he's adding new details. So now they kick down the door because now they may believe that he gave them the runaround. He may be some type of master manipulator who gave everybody the runaround, and all along, he might have been the shooter all along. So you got to understand why he's in jail. That's why he's in jail. That's why they kicked down the door. Now here we have Keefe D. He responds. He responds to reports that he's getting arrested. Now I don't even have to play this because we already know I believe he knew. At a certain point, he kind of knew. He kind of knew that, you know, the chickens had come home to roost at a certain point because, you know, I think he stopped doing interviews after a while. He kind of knew that, you know, things were starting to come down. Now, look, he has another interview where the FBI told me Eric Von Drip kept my $1 million from Diddy for Tupac's. Hold on. Now, I didn't even see this one. This is a new one. Hold on. Now, let's play this. Let's play this. Now he's talking about alleged money. See, this is what I'm saying. They may be trying to go after the big fish in regards to this, you know, Tupac thing, man. I think that they may be going after the big fish because now there's a money trail. Hold on. Because if they could find the money trail, right? Let me tell y'all this. I'm gonna tell you this right off the rip. If they could validate the story, right? If they could validate the story that Diddy allegedly gave $1 million to Eric Von Drip, who's the guy he's talking about, the same guy who gave him the firearms that night. If they could confirm that Diddy gave Eric Von Drip $1 million allegedly for the hit on Tupac, Diddy is finished. If they could go back into Diddy's records, his financial records, and find $2 million given to Eric Von Drip, it's over for Diddy. So you best believe Diddy's looking at his financial records and he's going to be looking back at something. Allegedly. Now, we don't know. Allegedly. Let's continue. Hold on.
You know, there was the rumor that after Pac got killed, Puffy gave Zip $1 million.
Allegedly.
That was supposed to be handed over.
You're right, Reese. Allegedly.
And Zip ended up keeping it. And I remember when I interviewed TK Kirkland, who was actually roommates with Zip at one point. They were that close. He actually said, yeah.
The Fed said that too.
He said that shit actually happened. Well, the story that has circulated was that after Tupac got killed, Puffy allegedly gave the money.
I heard.
Allegedly.
To Zip.
Yes.
And Zip was supposed to give the money to Keefe and them.
Yes.
But he never gave the money to him.
But thank God he never gave him the money, right? Think about it. he gave the money, Puffy would be in prison now, money for hire.
If they could go back if they could find any records, allegedly, that Diddy gave that man $1 million, it's over for Diddy. So I'm gonna tell y'all right now, it's gonna be over for Diddy. If they could find proof on that, it's over.
Murder for hire. So thank God, if this is a true story, I'm not saying yes or no, but if he would have gave them the money, it'd have been a murder for hire and Puffy would be locked up.
The FBI said he's a dirty motherfucker.
Yeah,
I agree. It would be, conspiracy charge. I agree, Sinclair. It would be conspiracy charges along with this. They could take all the money forfeited. Yeah, I agree. I highly doubt that, we're gonna see how this plays out, because I don't want to speak too fast about it, but I do think ultimately the goal is Diddy. I do think that they're looking, because they know Keefe D is 60. Keefe D is 60 years old, bro. He's not a big fish for them. He's no longer a drug dealer. He's a retired gangbanger. He doesn't sell weight. He's not a big fish. He's just an old nigga who got tripped up on his words, really. They want the big fish. They want Diddy, allegedly.
And said that, like, in retrospect, that was probably the best thing that could have ever happened to Puffy. By Zip stealing the money, now Puffy isn't connected to that shit. Or else it would have been like a murder for hire or something, you know what I'm saying?
The FBI said Zip.
So the FBI told you the
said
same
he was
thing.
a dirty motherfucker, yeah.
So the FBI told you
Now hold on.
Zip kept that money as well.
They said Zip's a dirty motherfucker. Everybody crossed you. You the last one to know every fucking thing. Even Lord.
I thought he was talking about.
The FBI told.
I thought he was talking about Diddy. So he's talking about Eric Von Drip.
Told you that Zip kept that money as well.
They said Zip's a dirty motherfucker. Everybody crossed you. You the last one to know every fucking thing. Even lawyers, your friends, everybody can cross your ass. You just don't know. Even the dudes you was riding in the car with every day, like a low jack. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, like I said, Zip had a history of ripping people off.
Yeah. He never ripped me off.
Well,
otherwise he wouldn't.
He did rip you off.
Did he technically do?
See, Vlad. See, the thing is, Vlad gets into it. Vlad really, like, he pretty much in an interview, he wants you to tell on yourself, but it's not Vlad's fault, because Vlad is just trying to conduct a great interview.
If he kept the money that supposedly
true.
So actually he ripped you off for $1 million.
Yeah.
He really did a favor. Eric Von Drip, he really did a favor for Diddy, because if Keefe D would have got this money, if they could prove that Diddy gave the money to Eric Von Drip, and they could prove that Eric Von Drip gave the money to Keefe D, it would be finished. It would be FBI charges on all of them. It would have been FBI charges, all conspiracy. All of them would have went to jail. So Eric Von Drip actually did. He didn't do Keefe D a favor, but he definitely did Diddy a favor, if that's true, allegedly.
Yeah, if that's what happened, yeah. They sure said it. The FBI said that. The people down, yeah, U.S. attorneys, all that. They said that. Zip's a piece.
Yes. Shout out to Sinclair's. You said, wasn't Casanova's charges tied to his Vlad confession? Yes. It was. It was absolutely tied to his I believe that hold on. Either it was I think it was AR Ab. AR Ab, his the prosecutor thanked Vlad. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that real quick for you. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Prosecution thanks Vlad. Hold on. Vlad TV. Vlad TV. It was, I seen it somewhere. Lawyer, let me see. I seen it before. It was like a lawyer, the prosecution lawyer thanks Vlad TV. Hold on. I don't know why I can't find it, but I've seen it somewhere with a prosecution that I believe it was for AR Ab's case. It wasn't for Casanova's case though. Prosecution. I'm a bad speller. Prosecutor, thanks. Prosecution, thanks Vlad TV. Hold on. AR Ab. Hold on. AR Ab. Maybe that's why. Hold on. Here you go. I see it. Here you go. The judge. The judge. Oh, it's an error in this. What is this? It says it right here that I don't know. This is a bad link, I guess. I don't know. But there's a link to it to a weird site. I don't know. Hold on. Go back. Dang. I just seen it. Hold on. AR Ab. I don't know why. Hold on. Don't talk about my spelling. Yeah, it's right here though. For some reason the link doesn't work, so I'm not gonna click that link again. But it says the judge thanks Vlad TV for his interview, which helped AR Ab. It says it right here in small. AR Ab with the 20 years plus running for his drug empire. So it was for the AR Ab, it wasn't for the Casanova. But yeah, these Vlad TV interviews, man, they get people jammed up, man. They get people jammed up with these interviews, man. I agree, but it's not Vlad's fault. Vlad is just conducting an interview, man. But Keefe D, man, listen, Keefe D, he's about to, you know, he's one of these old dudes, respectfully, that just couldn't shut up, man. He just couldn't, you know, he just couldn't shut up. He couldn't, you know. He just always wanted to talk on. He's always want to talk and always want to be in front of the camera. At a certain age, man, yo, get away from the camera, man. Get out the camera all the time, bro. He's 60 years old. Listen, hold on, let me pull that up. Because I feel like, I mean, look at him. Come on now. You can't tell me he's not 60 years old. But I'm gonna pull it up for y'all. Hold on. The man is 60 years old. And he's out here. He's about to do time for a body, bro. For one of the most popular rappers of all time. 60 years old, y'all. The man is 60 years old, and I'm hearing reports that he's dealing with ailments. He's dealing with a lot of ailments right now. At 60 years old, I mean, the last place you want to be as a 60-year-old man, bones hurting, body is brittle, older, grays in your beard, body deteriorating, dealing with ailments. The last place you want to be is in a cold cell for your natural life, for your natural born life. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's sad to see, but I mean, for an old head, he should know better. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, back in the day, Keefe D, when he was, let me pull up him from back in the day, because he used to be a stone cold gangster, man. He used to be a stone cold gangster. He wasn't no like push around, man. Keefe D, when he was younger, he had this is him right here. He had the Brioni suits. This is when he was making money. He was making a lot of money around this time. He was a big drug dealer, you know, selling a lot of weight. And he came out with the Brioni suits. He had the bracelet with the big ring on. Back in the day, you think he would have been, you know, taking all these plea agreements and all these proffer agreements, and you think he would have been on an interview telling everybody what happened and who did this and who had the gun and who caught the body and all this? He would have been doing this back in the day. But he's an older man now. He knows. Listen, man, you have to play the game now. You got to give the police some type of information. You got to give the police some type of information, and he's paying dearly for it now. 60 years old, bro. You know, he's one of those old heads that just couldn't get out the camera. Couldn't get off the YouTube, couldn't get off the Vlad TV interview. He just wanted to keep, talking, keep yapping. And ultimately, he's paying dearly for it now. But, yo, let me know what y'all think, man. Do y'all think it's shine time for Diddy, man? Let me pull up Diddy. I don't know if y'all saw this. This is another thing that I probably should have talked about. Hold on. When Diddy got pulled over by the police a couple of days ago, he was looking a little frightened, man. Hold on. Diddy got pulled over by the police. He was looking a little frightened, man. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull that up for y'all. Yeah, he got pulled over by the police. Actually, I might not be able to play that because he did have some like audio in that thing. Hold on. Yeah, he was on live, man. Diddy bopping. Police pulled him over like, hey, man, you know your boy got locked up, right? Diddy was like, what? Take that. Who's my boy? Who you talking about? Your boy Keefe D, yo. Your boy Keefe D got locked up, man. They're talking about you next. That's what the cop said to him. Diddy wasn't feeling that, got pulled over by the police. I think it was out in Miami. See if I could find that. Where is it? I know it has like audio in it. That's the only reason why I kind of don't want to play it. Yeah, for some reason it's not on here. Academics. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I saw Academics had posted it. Where is this thing? I do not see this thing. Where is it? Yeah, but it's shine time for Diddy, man. Ultimately, they want the big fish, man. Keefe D is not a big fish to them, bro. A black multi-billionaire, well, not multi-billionaire, but a black billionaire. Oh yeah, that's somebody we could go after. That's somebody we can go after, especially if there's evidence, especially if you're going to testify against him. That's definitely somebody they could go after. I don't know why I can't find this thing. Let me see. Is it on YouTube? Maybe if it's on YouTube, I could probably find it. Hold on. Diddy gets pulled over. Yeah. Is this it? I think this is it. Hold on. Oh, I got audio though. Nah, let me take the audio off. Yeah, cause I got it though. It's right here. Yeah, he got pulled over by the police, man. The police was like, "Hey, man." Diddy was like, "Oh, who's my boy? Who you talking about? Who got locked up?" Your boy Keefe D, man. They talking about, "Hey, man, he got pulled over by the police." He was looking a little shooken up, He was like, probably sweating. He was sweating in the Sean John drawers, getting a little worried there, getting, I don't know, man. He was getting a little worried. He was looking a little frightened, and in that golf cart, man. I was sweating kind of hard in there, man. Yeah, but the police, I ain't gonna lie. I think that's the play, allegedly. Now, let me say this once again. I do not know if Diddy and Keefe D. Matter of fact, let me do that real quick while we here, because we're about to shut the show down. But let me look that up real quick, because he spoke on Diddy a lot. He spoke on Diddy a lot, bro. So let me just look this up real quick. Do they have any pictures together? Let's do this together. Okay. Keefe D. Right? Keefe D. Diddy. No, I'm gonna go Puff Daddy. Because you know what? He was Puff Daddy back then. So let's put in Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy. Okay, I don't see no pictures. What's this? Nah. I don't see no old school pictures with him and Diddy. Let's put in Keefe D, Diddy. I mean, somebody got to be able to produce an old school picture with them two. How about this one? That's a picture of Pac and Big. So there's no pictures of them two hanging out. You know, all of this stuff. He talks about how me and Diddy, we was at the clubs, we was at this club and we was at that club and we did this together, and I gave this amount of money and I protected Diddy and I did this for Diddy, but there's no pictures of them. So, you know, if he does decide to, you know, cooperate or, you know, try to, you know, snitch on Diddy, if you will, you know, that's going to be an uphill battle because, you know, they're going to have to find something. They're going to have to be some type of trail somewhere. He's going to have to pull out one of those old Polaroids and see if they got him on camera with Keefe D, you know, hanging around with him. Because I don't really see anything in terms of like an old picture of them, an old video of them hanging out. Like, if there was old pictures or old videos of them hanging out, then this might have been an open and shut case. So at least we know that they were hanging out with each other. So we have a direct link. We have a direct link to him hanging out with Diddy, and we know he was in the car we know he was in the car that night out in Las Vegas where Tupac ultimately lost his life. So look for the one with Puff, Keefe D, and Tupac. Saw it yesterday. Was it on Google? Let me know. Hold on. Yeah, where did you see that picture at, Sinclair? Let me know. I'm on Google with it right now. Where did you see it at? Keefe D. Hold on. Keefe D, Puff, and Tupac. Come on. Why would them three be in a picture together? Why would them three be in the picture together? You really think they would be in the picture together? They was beefing with each other. Tupac was on the record talking about, hold on, let me pull that up. This is a research show. We're doing some research today, but let me pull that up. You don't know all the stuff Pac was saying about Diddy back then? Talking about my fofo make sure all your kids don't grow. Y'all don't remember that? Maybe y'all too young to remember that. I remember that though. Let me pull up those lyrics. Tupac, hit him up. Tupac, hit him up. Y'all remember this? I'm about to put it on the screen. Hold on. Let me just get the Rap Genius up. Tupac, hit him up. He said in the record, my fofo make sure all your kids don't grow. They was beefing. They wasn't. Pac wasn't rocking with them at all. He was trying to catch the fade with Diddy back then. I'm just looking for that line where Pac say, "My fofo make sure all your kids don't grow." Hold on. Let me pull this up. Hold on. Where's my arrow at? Hold on. Where's my arrow? Oh, here you go. Let me pull that up. Look, F Bad Boy. That's P. Diddy's label, ladies and gentlemen. F Bad Boy as a staff and record label. And as a mother effing crew. They was going out, they was at war with these dudes. Now let me find that line where he say, here you go. Why my page unresponsive? Come on, what's going on? Here you go though. My fofo make sure all your kids don't grow. Come on, man. This is what he said to Diddy on record. My fofo make sure all your kids don't grow. Pac was not playing with these dudes. Come on, man. Yo, shout out to Reese. Yeah, you're the OF correspondent, man. You definitely the OF correspondent. Definitely. Yeah, but Pac wasn't playing with Bad Boy and them, man, Talking about my fofo, make sure all your kids don't grow. Come on, man. Yeah, but it's sad for Keefe, man. Sad for Keefe, man. Sad for Keefe. Keefe is 60 years old, bro. I couldn't imagine being 60 years old and facing murder charges, bro. I mean, it's crazy. He really thought that he was gonna be, doing all this chatting, doing a lot of chatting on all these interviews, and he was gonna get away with it. But sad to see. Sad to see. Yo, Sinclair, stop trolling, man. It's on Pinterest. There ain't no image with them three, man. Come on. They do make a lot of fake images. I seen an image of Tupac and Osama. They also have a picture of Tupac and Kurt Cobain. They got all types of doctored up images on the internet. CGI images. Where's it at? Where's it at on Pinterest? Where's it at? Put the link in the chat. Where's it at? Where's it at on Pinterest? I want to see it. Put the link in the chat. We'll go to it now. I want to see it because if there's a picture of them two, of Diddy and Keefe D, then that's bad. That's really bad. And I'm sure if that picture does exist, it's gonna be bad for Diddy. It's gonna be bad for Diddy if they got a picture together. It's gonna be bad if they could find any financial records that he gave that guy $1 million for the hit on Tupac. It's gonna look really bad. Yeah, that Tupac and Osama one is crazy. The Tupac and Osama one, it looked kind of real. I ain't gonna lie. Like if there was no such thing as CGI or of people like photoshopping images, and you just showed me that picture, I would believe it was true. I'd be like, oh wow. But we know these things exist. There's no picture with them two. There might be one, somewhere in the world. Maybe somebody took a picture of a certain night that they were together, but I mean, I doubt it. If there's one person that may have the picture of them two hanging out, it's probably the feds. If it's one person that'll probably have a picture with them two hanging out, it'll probably be the feds. I'm sure the feds have a picture. Yeah, I can see the feds having a picture of them two hanging out. But anybody else, nah. Maybe somebody who got lucky and took a picture of them at a party or something, and he probably didn't realize that he had a picture of them too. But other than that, nah, I doubt it. You got to think, this was 96, bro. This wasn't like 2023 where everybody's on Instagram, everybody's doing it for the gram, everybody's taking pictures. Like, this is 96. Like, there were photographers. You had to pay the photographer to come to the party, to come to the event. You had to pay to get your pictures. Like, this was a whole different time. Like, this wasn't I got a camera on my phone with a 36 megapixels and digital camera, and I got the 4K camera to take this is a whole nother era, man. You had to pay the photographer, you had to pay After you pay the photographer, you had to pay to get your pictures. They had to doctor the pictures. They had to develop the pictures. Like, this was a whole nother era, man. So anybody that would have had that picture, they probably are a photographer, or they probably work for the CIA or the FBI. That's the only way they would have a picture of them too. Some type of, party photographer from back then, or the FBI, doing their stuff in the darkness, taking pictures of people. That's the only way I could see them having a picture of them too. Where's it at? Put it in the link. You got it, Reese? You see it, Reese? So, all right, where is it? If y'all have this picture of Diddy and Keefe D, where is it? Is it on Pinterest or is it on Google? Where is it? Let's waiting. Now you got, both of you guys are the Pinterest correspondents now. Let's see. What's popping on Pinterest, man? What? You got to go to your laptop to find it. Come on, man. Aren't you on your phone right now? Or you on your phone, or you on your computer? I want to see this picture that y'all got with these two. I don't believe it. Yeah, drop that link. I want to see it. And don't put no OnlyFans link in the. We don't. I don't want you on OnlyFans duty today. Please don't drop no OnlyFans link in the chat, please. No, all you gotta do is copy it. You could just copy it. You could hold on to the link and just copy it and just put it in the chat and paste it in the chat. If y'all have it. Meatball sponsor. Meatball, that girl, she's bugged out, bro. That girl is bugged out, man. That girl is bugged out. Can you imagine having that woman as a if anybody watching this in the live broadcast, I'm talking about Meatball, the Philly woman who was recording herself at a looting. Can you imagine impregnating a woman like that? I mean, I'd be like, my life would be in shambles. Yeah, where is it though? Where's the link? Meatball recipe with man, y'all ain't got no link, man. I'm legitimately sitting here waiting to see this link, or at least tell me where the link is. Where is the? I'll look it up myself. Where's the link? Is it on Pinterest? Is it on Google? I'll go on Pinterest right now and see if it's on there. I don't think it's on there. I didn't get no link. I don't believe there's no picture. You gonna send it to my IG? Yeah, send it to my IG. Send it to my IG. If you have it. Cause I don't believe that there's any picture of them two together. Y'all gotta think. This is 96, bro. 96, 97. This is not 2023. This is back in the day. Like back in 96, bro. Nobody was walking around with people had cameras, but they were like Polaroid cameras. Like they had Polaroid cameras, but people only brung Polaroid cameras to like events. Like, you know what I mean? And like if you were like Diddy or you were like Keefe D, you wasn't bringing no Polaroid. You was there to, to pull up, buy some champagne, you know what I mean? Leave with about 2 or 3 women, and that was your night. You wasn't there to take pictures. You paid photographers to take the pictures. And you got to think there was nowhere to post the pictures except for like maybe if like the Source came to an event and they took pictures for the magazine, but where were you going to put the pictures? There was no MySpace or Facebook or Instagram in '96. There was no way to put the pictures. So I mean, you was just flexing for yourself and for the hoes back then. You wasn't flexing for the gram back then. You send it. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Now I see. Okay. I'm clicking it now. I got it. All right. That is not Keefe D. Bro, that's not Keefe D, bro. Y'all wildin'. You know who I think that is? I think that's Big Boy from Outkast. That's not Keefe D. That is not Keefe D, yo. Y'all wildin'. What are y'all talking about? That is not Keefe D. I think that's Big Boy from Outkast. Hold on. I'll pull it up. Hold on. I know y'all not talking about Diddy and Tupac. Yeah. Diddy and Tupac had pictures together. They used to hang out because you gotta think Tupac was cool with Biggie. So they got plenty of pictures of them two together, but actually let me not do that. Hold on. Let me grab the link, then put it up. Hold on. I'm gonna put it up. Hold on. Just give me a sec. Yeah, that's Big Boy from Outkast. That's not. I think that's Big Boy from Outkast. That's definitely not Keefe D though. That's definitely not Keefe D. That is definitely not Keefe D. Oh, here you go. Oh, let me send it to this one. Hold on. I'm about to pull it up. Y'all really thought that was Keefe D, man. Y'all thought y'all ate, man. Y'all thought that was Keefe D. I was like, oh, that's Keefe D. That is not Keefe D. Hold on. I'm gonna put it up. Sure. I want to send. Hold on. All right. Hopefully, there we go. All right, I got it. It's on my computer. Yo, y'all are crazy, man. Y'all are crazy. I'm about to pull it up. Hold on. Y'all are crazy. That is not Keefe D. That is not Keefe D, man. I think that's Big Boy from nah, that's not Big Boy from Outkast. It looked like Big Boy from Outkast, but I think that's just some random. That don't look nothing like Keefe D. That looks nothing like him. Not even like remotely. I could pull up the pictures of Keefe D when he was that age. He didn't look. I'm gonna do that right now. Hold on. Keefe D. I mean, I just pulled up the picture earlier when he was younger, when he had the suit on. He didn't look nothing like that. Young. Hold on. Right here. Boom. Now y'all telling me that's the same person? Come on. Look how husky he was back then. Come on. That's not him. That's not him. That's not the same person. That is not the same person. Yo, y'all bugged out, man. That is not the same person, bro. Don't even look the same. Oh, my screen ain't sharing? Hold on. My fault. Oh, I'm on the screen. Oh, I got it. All right. My fault. That's not the same person, bro. That look like a Bad Boy affiliate or something like that. He used to work for Bad Boy or something like that. Nah, that's definitely, yeah, that's not Bad Boy. We got our Atlanta correspondent, Atlanta Bird Gang. Shout out, bro. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not Big Boy. He looked like a he's probably like a Atlanta. My fault. He's probably like a bad boy, you know, worker or something like that. I don't know. Probably work for Bad Boy or something like that. Yeah, yeah, because they look nothing alike. Look at Keefe D. Come on, bro. Look at Keefe D. Keefe, come on, man. Yeah, but there's plenty of pictures of Tupac and Diddy. There's plenty of pictures of them because they used to be cool. Tupac and Diddy used to be cool. They used to do shows together. Diddy Big and Tupac did shows and all of that. They used to be real cool. Yeah, see? Tupac, Big right here, Diddy right here. Then this is that's another one, I think. Yeah, they got a few pictures together. Yeah, they was cool with each other. Look, I think this is another picture. I think this is a real picture too of Diddy and Suge at one point. I mean, you gotta think there was a time where they wasn't beefing. There was a time where they wasn't beefing. There was a time where all of them were cool at one point, and then, you know, things went south. People getting beat up for chains and all this other nonsense, you know. But we here talking about Mr. Keefe D. Keefe D, ladies and gentlemen. But yo, thank y'all for joining me, man. Shout out to Atlanta Bird Gang. Shout out to Sinclair. Shout out to Reese. Shout out to everybody that came in the stream today. Shout out to all of y'all. We up out of here talking about Mr. Keefe D, a man 60 years old, about to be going to trial or possibly cooperating for the 1996 shooting of Tupac Shakur, ladies and gentlemen. You guys have a good night. Well, give me something to eat. I'm out of here, y'all. Toodles, man.